everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and long time no PeloChat. I skipped this last week. My mom was here, and I also had a procedure done. I'm going to talk about it in this video. It's going to be super TMI. So we are going to just pretend like my hair looks halfway decent. I did not realize how crazy it looked in this video, but I already filmed it and I'm not refilming it. So just ignore the crazy hair. So the main point is I had a procedure, I'm in recovery, and I have not done much Peloton. So if that's all you want to hear, come back next week and we'll talk more Peloton news and Peloton classes, hopefully. For now, we're going to get into the TMI part of it. I have talked about this and hinted at this in lots of videos. My hormones have been a little bit haywire for the last, at this point, 6 to 8 months. I have had increasingly heavier bleeding. They ran all the tests, all the blood work, all the procedures. I had a uterine biopsy, I had ultrasounds. We decided to go with a uterine ablation. So I did have that procedure now a little over a week ago, and I am in recovery mode. I am on what they are calling pelvic rest for 2 to 3 weeks until the bleeding and discharge stops. You can Google this, it's a procedure. Basically, they burn the inside lining of your uterus to stop excessive bleeding. That was the main thing. It's like excessive bleeding causes all sorts of problems all on its own. Thankfully, my symptoms other than that weren't that bad, aside from some of the hormonal symptoms that go along with it. You guys know any kind of hormone issues. I get migraines like crazy, and I was getting more migraines. And since this procedure, I have been migraine free, which has been fabulous. And I'm on medicine now to specifically prevent migraines. And they had me, between my uterine biopsy and this uterine ablation procedure, they had me on a low dose birth control. It made my period worse. That was one of the options, is you can try out birth controls to hopefully control symptoms. It made mine worse. I bled more. I bled for, instead of 1 whole week of torture, I had 3 whole weeks of torture. So that was not good, but I finally went off that medicine after this procedure, and now I'm having super major acne. I don't know if you guys can tell because I'm makeuped, and also this camera is very nice at softening skin, but I've got acne all the way up my cheek, all the way around under my chin. It's just terrible at this point, but that's just all the hormone things going on. With any luck, I will be much better off later on. A lot of people have very little bleeding for their periods from here on out, and a lot of people have no periods. So I would love to be in that category after having super duper heavy, cannot leave the house type of period. And I know all this is TMI, but this just, it's part of life, you know? It's part of biology, part of my life that I've been dealing with in the background, and it's been brutal. And I'm so glad to have this procedure done. It was something they knocked me out for. It was just done in a little span of time, 45 minutes or so, but they knocked me out for it, did it. I was on pain meds for a day and a half, and then intermittently I would take ibuprofen if I felt really bad the next couple of days. I'm totally off ibuprofen now. I'm just a little bit uncomfortable. I noticed that I'm a little bit crampy down there, and definitely after I ride I get way more crampy. So I've only done 2 or 3 rides since my procedure. I did bring my workout notebook in here. Also, I'm freshly showered. I'm going to a mom's night later, so I had to go ahead and get myself together. We've been dealing with lots of health things with kids. So yeah, I've taken 2 rides since then, and both times it's I feel like I overdid it both times. So I'm really trying to take it easy. I keep thinking I'm gonna go back to mom's group the next day, and then it hits the fan. It's just been one thing after the other. With the kids both being sick, it's just been not good. It's just been not good. I got 3 hours of sleep last night because of sick kids, but yeah, no exercises going on. That's why I'm saying this video is going to be relatively short. It's just a health update. So I did my procedure. It's been a little over a week. I've done 2 rides in a little over a week, and I'm definitely having withdrawals. I really want to get back on my bike, but it's just not happening right now. It's been tough. Let's talk about the week before that. I did end up riding most days. No, I rode 4 days the week before that. So I'm usually on a 5-day week. This I was on 4 days, and I just did 30-minute rides. I'm not doing any PowerZone things right now. The PowerZone thing, I think it starts November 7th, whatever that Monday is. I can look on here. Yeah, November 7th. So if you want to do the PowerZone thing, go ahead and do it. I am registered for it, and I'm hoping to do my rides Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and that way I can go to mom's group Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's my hope. And then Sunday would be a complete rest day, and that would have me exercising 6 days a week, but alternating if I'm doing a ride or if I'm doing resistance training type of stuff. Sometimes they do a little bit of HIIT and cardio in that, but mostly that's resistance training type of exercise. I really enjoy the mom's group. I would love to get back into hardcore on the floor calendar, but I haven't even done anything since I think mid-September, if I'm being generous. So I really want to get back into doing everything, but the last week has been a little bit tough for that, and then I have another week or two where it's still going to be recovery for me. So I'm just sitting back and waiting, and of course, like in my uterus's true fashion, I'm doing a lot of bleeding with this procedure as well. She did say that there would be, you know, bleeding and discharge and all that stuff for 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm assuming I'm going to be 3 weeks because that's just the way my uterus likes to be, and it seems to be like a constant flow. It just seems to be like, yeah, not fun. So that's definitely part of it. I'm healing and just trying to not overdo it, even though I really want to get back on the bike, and this totally has messed up my morning routine. I was up at 5 o'clock most mornings, getting on the bike, getting it done, and now I'm just like, okay, I'm up. What do? I sit here and I look at the bike longingly. I can't get on the bike. But there's not really a whole lot of actual Peloton news as of right now. There was one more person that left the higher up rankings, and then also, I think I maybe have mentioned this in passing, but Daniel McKenna left Peloton. He actually was fired and he sued them for wrongful termination and stuff about the workplace. You can like see all of it. Pelo Buddy like really outlined all of it, and it's just something that I feel like if his allegations are true, and like when you go into a lawsuit, those are his allegations. We don't know what of it is true or false at this point. Peloton, I don't think, has responded yet. I don't know if they will or they'll settle outside of court or anything, but from his allegations, it sounds pretty crappy of a workplace for him. There's definitely some racism going on. He is Irish, so there was like Irish stereotyping going on, and that just really sucks for him. And if it is true, I hope he gets what he wants out of it. Sad that it had to get to that point. I'm sad that that's the route that Peloton chose to fire him, and I'm sad that he had to deal with that racism going on in the company. It's just all around sucky. I don't know right now like whose side I'm on for anything. I kind of lean towards his side because we've seen his whole case lined out, and I could imagine somebody being that much of a dingus that they are that dumb about stereotyping somebody. I could see them thinking they were funny when they're actually being a complete asshole. So I could see that being a case where they're like, oh, I was just joking, but it's not really a joke and you're really just an asshole. So I hope that he gets what he wants out of it and he can leave the situation feeling okay. And I know lots of people are supporting him and lots of people are supporting Peloton, and I want to, like I've said with other things, I just kind of want to wait and see before I make full-on judgments. But right now I lean towards trying to be supportive of him. I know he had some injuries too, and it's like, I'm sorry, but you can't work at a fitness company if you have serious injuries and you have to recover from those serious injuries. So I think I see part of it where it's like, okay, you know, if he's not going to be in tip-top shape and able to teach, how can he be an employee at Peloton, you know? It's like they don't go together, and it's not his fault and it's not their fault. It just is not going to be a good fit, you know? He's got to recover. So I think that's part of it too, is he did have some serious injuries going on where he did have to recover. And that's not a great reason to fire somebody. Like, you can't fire somebody for a health reason, but at the same time, like, fitness instructors have to have all of their body parts working so that they can teach. So it's just, I don't know, it just leaves you between a rock and a hard place there with that kind of situation. So yeah, my whole point in this is I don't really know what happened. I don't claim to know anything aside from what other people have said. I'm just waiting and seeing, really feel for him in this situation. Like, if you got fired and it's so public, you know, he's a public figure when he's a Peloton instructor, that's gotta suck. Like, even if it was under the nicest of circumstances, it would suck. And if it's under really bad circumstances, it really sucks even more. So I do feel for him, no matter how it happened. He did get fired from their company. Even if it was, let's say, even if it was entirely his fault, that's still embarrassing and that's still a horrible way to leave a company, especially something so public. So I feel for him no matter. It just sucks all the way around. It's just kind of one of those things where I'm like, I hope other instructors don't leave. It sucks seeing like all the top people running for the hills. I definitely have a sneaking suspicion that the company will be sold. It just seems like they're setting it up for that and people are leaving because they know that's coming. And I just hope that it doesn't change the end user experience. Like, I don't care who the CEO is, I don't care who the CFO is, all the people up at the top, so long as my user experience is still good and the company still treats its fitness instructors well and pays them well and they're happy at their job, that's what I need. As somebody who's in the Peloton ecosystem, I need the instructors to be there and be happy and be paid well for what they're doing so that they can keep teaching classes and I can keep getting inspiration and motivation from them. So I'm just hoping that all of this stuff in the background doesn't affect my end experience and everyone's end experience. The bird outside scared the crap out of me. At the end of the day, like, I know like things happen, companies get sold, but really what it comes down to is like this bike has been life-changing for me. I love the instructors. I was sad to see him go, although he wasn't like my favorite top instructor, and if he had been, I would be devastated. Like if Bradley Rose one day was just not there, I would be devastated. Like I know he's just a Peloton instructor, but he has inspired me and helped me stay on this fitness journey so much, and the things he say in classes keep me laughing, and I just love him as an instructor. And if he were to just suddenly not be there one day, I would be pretty heartbroken because he's my favorite. But I can see where if instructors start leaving, it's going to change the environment for me and other people. And I can see how this firing would leave a lot of bad tastes in people's mouths. But the bike's been life-changing for me, and I just don't want it to change. I don't want the company to go downhill, and I'm just hoping that it won't. That's the main Peloton news. The other one I saw was, and I've confirmed this, the Peloton referral program has changed to where, like, I personally only get 6 referrals as of 2022. Last year we got 12, this year we get 6. It was only for clothing and certain accessories like water bottles, hair bands, scrunchies, like Peloton scrunchie right here, things like that were in the apparel store, but they started adding more things to the apparel store. So now it goes for shoes, weights, all the little like heart band accessory type things, heart monitor things. And I'm super psyched about this because I would love to get some of the Peloton weights. I love the 15 pounders that we have. So I do end up posting that referral code under these videos. It helps me out, but it also helps you guys out. If you're buying a bike or a tread, and probably it will apply to the rower at some point too. If you buy a big piece of equipment from Peloton, type in that coupon code, it takes $100 off whatever accessories you add to it. So if you wanted to throw in some weights or resistance bands or heart rate monitor or shoes, whatever it is, it will take $100 off those accessories. So it's a really good coupon for you guys. It also gives me coupon money to use in the apparel store, but now the apparel store has more things in it. So that's even more of an incentive for me to be like, guys, buy a Peloton, because it benefits you, it changes your life, it gives you this great outlet, but it also benefits me too. All of my Peloton gear, which actually I'm not wearing very much, like I just have this right now, but usually I'm like decked head to toe in Peloton gear. But all of that Peloton gear is thanks to you guys watching my videos, using my coupon code, and purchasing your own Peloton. So I really appreciate when you guys use that code. It's mutually beneficial, and I really appreciate it because I have lots of clothes because of it. And these are clothes I would not purchase otherwise. I spend my money on the kids and like planners and stuff, but I'm not a big like clothes buyer. But when I can get free clothes, I'm all about that life. So I have purchased a lot of Peloton gear thanks to you guys. But yeah, they changed it around. There's more things in the store, and also like now on family accounts, each family member gets a code. So that means I can get 6 referrals and Johnny can get 6 referrals. And you bet I will be putting his code on the videos when my codes run out. I also include my friends' codes on there too, because I want to make sure you guys have that coupon code at all times, and it also helps my friends out too. But yeah, anyway, now we can get the husbands on board with the referral codes. So that's exciting too. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There wasn't a whole lot of Peloton goodness to discuss, just mainly me sitting here staring at my bike longingly. It's like I worked out, the first day I worked out is like 3 days after my procedure. And I was like halfway through the ride, I was like, oh, my uterus is just kind of aching. Like my whole stomach felt really pot-bellied because it was swollen and had extra fluids and all that stuff, you know, just recovering. And then the next time I tried it, it was better, but the same thing happened where it's like the whole afternoon and the next day I was kind of achier than normal. And I'm still a little bit achy, you know, I'm still having a little bit of crampiness because everything in there is healing. It was funny, my gynecologist is like, yeah, we charred your uterus really good. It's like, gee, thanks. Like, I know that that's what it's really doing, but the way she like just puts it, it's like, yeah, we're gonna just fry it up. So it is what it is. You're burning the whole inside of the lining, and it's supposed to really help. So I'm really hopeful that it worked. And yeah, the next step, like if the heavy bleeding doesn't get better, the next step is hysterectomy, which is much, much more serious. So I'm hoping that this one works, because we're at the end of the line and I'm willing to do it. Like, this has disrupted my life. I've always had really, really heavy periods, but it's become a whole new level the last like 6 to 8 months where it's just been unbearable. And so I'm willing to go that route if that's what it takes, but I'm really hoping this works so I don't have to go that route. But yeah, we're to that point where I'm like, I'm desperate to handle this and get it under control, because a week every month has been absolutely miserable for me. probably longer than the 6 to 8 months, probably at least since I had Stella, but even before then, like once I had Olivia, it's like the floodgates opened. It's like open total new floodgates. But yeah, it's gotten to be unbearable and I've dealt with it for a really long time. So I'm ready to get things better and I'm hopeful, but yeah, this part sucks. Recovery sucks. Where I have to sit here and not be able to do it, even though like my mind wants to do it and most of my body is ready to do it. And I just hope that I'm really ready for the PowerZone thing. Oh yeah, like main thing, I was so pouty this last weekend because it was PeloFondo weekend and I couldn't do it. I did one of my rides over PeloFondo weekend and I was just pouty the whole rest of the weekend because I'm just recovering, you know, it sucks. But it is what it is. It's for the greater good. I know it's a good thing, it just timing kind of sucked for it. So I missed a whole PeloFondo. I got 7 miles for my PeloFondo, guys. Like last time I did like 60. And this time I got 7. But anyway, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a lot of TMI, but I feel like most of you are women, so you probably have dealt with or had friends that dealt with this. When I've talked about this with my girlfriends, I'm surprised how many of my girlfriends have either gone for this procedure or have contemplated going for this procedure because they've been having very similar issues after having their like 2nd or 3rd kid. And it's just surprising how many people either have been affected or know somebody that's having the same kind of issues as me. So I have a lot of girlfriends like checking in with me, like, how's it going? How do you feel? Because they want to have the same thing done. So I'm the test subject for quite a few of my girlfriends. And also I'm gonna paint my nails right before I peeled off a few of them, so they look kind of silly. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel mostly okay. Like I can get around fine, but then like my abdomen will get sore and crampy. And definitely when I ride, I get sore and crampy. So I'm just kind of like reading around being like, I'm ready for this to be done so that I can go back to my normal, like riding every morning or most mornings and be back to my normal routine. It's just throwing my whole routine for a loop. Anyway, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, check the links down below if you want to see more of these videos, and have a happy Halloween if you guys are celebrating on Monday. Catch you next time. Bye.